For years now, lost media has been a hot topic on the internet. Typically, people have their favorite pieces, typically well-known pieces like Hitogata, Clockman, or Metropolis. Still, there are many more pieces that, while not as well known, deserve not only equal time in the spotlight, but just as much chance to be found. These are those pieces. This is lesser-known lost media.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to Lesser Known Lost Media Volume 55. Wow. It still amazes me how long we've been making this show. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, don't worry, they can be watched in any order. What we do here is I cover lesser known lost media that you just don't see as much on YouTube like some of the other more popular pieces. How it works is I start with 4 family-friendly, safe-for-work pieces of lost media, we take a brief ad break, and then we cover a 5th and final, spicier piece. Those of you that have joined us before, you know how it goes. Let's get started. At number 1 today, we have Archie Comics' Sonic Underground Epilogue, a partly lost production material from a cancelled comic based on the animated TV show circa 2012 to 2013. Sonic Underground was an animated TV show based on Sega's popular video game franchise Sonic the Hedgehog, airing for 1 season from January 6th to May 23rd in 1999. Nearly 14 years later, at New York Comic Con 2012, Archie Comics announced that issue number 50 of their Sonic Universe comic series would be an epilogue to Sonic Underground. Still, when the issue came out in early 2013, it had been replaced by a story about Metal Sonic, with the epilogue becoming cancelled. Now, if you've not seen the show, Sonic Underground follows Sonic and his siblings Sonia and Manic as they try to reunite with their mother, the former queen of Mobius, Alina. Each sibling has a magical medallion based on a different musical instrument. Sonic's medallion is a guitar, Sonia's is a keyboard, and Manic's is a drum set, doubling as traditional instruments and weapons. They use their medallions to form the underground rock band Sonic Underground to fight off the evil Dr. Robotnik and his army of SWAT bots. The latter now rule Mobius with an iron fist. The series was prematurely cancelled, leaving the show's main plot thread of finding the siblings' mother unresolved. The first rumblings of a comic-based epilogue to the show came about in mid-2009 when a poll was posted to Ian Flynn's Bumble King forum asking users if they wanted him to write an epilogue for Underground as part of the Sonic Universe comic series, a spin-off of Archie's long-running Sonic the Hedgehog comic series focused on expanding its universe. As the head writer of Sonic Comics since 2006, Flynn seemed to respond to the idea with cautious enthusiasm, replying to the post with, "I don't know, it's an intriguing enough idea, but I kind of feel like I was stepping on the original creatives. As it stands, even if we did get the green light for such a project, it wouldn't see the light of day until 2011 at earliest." So yeah, this epilogue would be announced 3 years later, again at the New York Comic Con 2012, and was slated to come out in issue number 50. Flynn would later appear on Sonic the Lost World First Play Marathon later that October when it did not come out, and he stated that Sonic Underground is off limits. He went on to clarify that that's been in place since before I got on the book. The finale in Sonic Universe was supposed to be a special one-time thing. We're still trying to find a way to get it to happen. This mandate was likely put in place sometime after Sonic Super Special number 10, as it features a story when Archie's main Sonic crosses over into the Underground universe. In late 2014, Flynn stated that Lost Hedgehog Tales, a document detailing scrapped concepts from his time as head writer, would include the epilogue story. Excluding 5 released pages, which contain no mention of the epilogue, the document remains unreleased, with Flynn stating on Twitter in August of 2021, "I've promised the fandom to tell all in Lost Hedgehog Tales when it's safe to do so, which it isn't yet, but one day, just not today, or tomorrow, or for a while." Flynn has officially stated that he never penned a formal script, but he has lots and lots of notes. The only other known piece of production material is a sample cover drawn by Patrick Spazianti, which was released alongside the book's announcement. Now, Sonic Underground is a little after my time, but I did watch the two original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, and I did enjoy them. I was a Sonic fan, I played the games, so I understand the fandom, even if in recent years the games have been kind of crap. But this is definitely something that Sonic Underground does have a very hardcore fan base, and I'm sure they do deserve an end to the story they love so much, so hopefully one day they'll get to see it. At number 2, we have 737 Cockpit, a lost ZX Spectrum ZX81 flight simulation game from 1982. 737 Cockpit is a game made for the ZX81 and/or ZX Spectrum in 1982. It was produced by Machinecraft Limited, who listed the game in their adverts for the November and December issues of Your Computer magazine for that year, pricing it at £5.75. Little is known about the game, as no screenshots, physical copies, or ROMs have surfaced since its mention in Your Computer magazine. Judging from the game's title, it was likely a flight simulator in which the player flew a plane from an interface similar in nature to that of a Boeing 737 aircraft. It's uncertain what platforms the game's released on, as the November advert stated that it was for the ZX81 with a minimum of 16 kilobytes of memory. However, the December advert stated the game was for the ZX Spectrum and instead required a minimum of 48 kilobytes of memory. Wow, remember when we measured things in kilobytes? The difference between these two home computers would also change how the game was displayed, as the ZX Spectrum supported color output, a feature the ZX81 lacked. That's really all we have on this one. There's not a lot to go on, but I definitely do love, stuff about lost early computer games. It's definitely something that I find interesting. I mean, we know compared to the, Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's probably hot garbage, but it's fun. I like it. It gets on the list. At number 3, we have The Adventures of Twizzle, which is partially found puppet TV series from 1957. The Adventures of Twizzle is a television show produced by AP Films, a company formed by Arthur Provis, Reg Hill, Sylvia Tam, and super marionation artist Gary Anderson, who would go on to create popular British science fiction shows such as Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and Terrahawks. In total, 52 episodes were made and aired, with the first episode being broadcast November 13th, 1957 at 4:30 p.m. The series follows Twizzle, a boy puppet who has the ability to extend or twizzle his legs and arms, and his cat companion known as Futso. One day, while Twizzle is meeting new toys in his toy shop, a bad-tempered girl comes into the shop and wants to buy Twizzle. Frightened by the girl, he escapes from the toy shop after Teddy Bear suggests he run away before she can buy him. He eventually makes his way to a dog kennel as the owner of the kennel, Futso, the cat, enters. The two become fast friends and decide to go off on adventures after sleeping for the night. While on their adventures, they also create a haven for toys running away from abusive children called Stray Town. When AP Films initially formed, the company originally planned to make films, but struggled to find commissions. In 1957, Roberta Leigh and Suzanne Warner approached the company with the idea to make The Adventures of Twizzle, to which the company reluctantly agreed to do. Episodes were shot in a small room, and the overall budget for the show was under £500. Additionally, the schedule was very tight, with the puppets themselves having their finishing touches on an actual shooting of the episode occurring on the same day, leaving little time to perfect the puppets. To enhance the show's quality, however, the crew implemented techniques from films that were rarely seen in puppet shows, such as background props and close-ups of the puppets' faces. Another technique that they applied was to have the puppeteers operate the puppets from an overhead bridge 12 feet above the set instead of them simply leaning over to see what they were doing, eliminating their shadows showing up in the shot. To help this, Anderson bought a lightweight camera that had just come on the market and rigged it onto the main camera to project what was happening anywhere on the set of the operators. This technique became known as video assist and was soon used in the entire film industry. The series, while using intricate puppetry, predates the first official Super Marionation series by Anderson, For Feather Falls, by 2 years, though it's still classified as such by many. Unfortunately, only the first episode survives. This one sounds pretty cool, especially with how they used, some advanced techniques for the time that also became like film standards. Sadly, we only have the first episode to go on. Hopefully we find the rest someday. At number 4, we have Clerks III, lost original script of the film sequel circa 2012 to 2017. Now, Clerks III is a sequel to director Kevin Smith's 1994 cult classic film Clerks. It was released in September of 2022, however, it was cancelled before being revived. While working on the original version of Clerks III, in February of 2017, Kevin Smith announced he'd be producing a Jay and Silent Bob reboot. In the same announcement, however, he announced Clerks III's cancellation. At the time of the announcement, it was unknown exactly why he'd canceled the film. However, in April of 2017, a video surfaced of him calling out Clerks actor Jeff Anderson for being the reason why. Anderson had stated in a previous podcast that he wasn't keen on playing the part of Randall. It took him a while to even be convinced to come on to Clerks II. The last time Kevin Smith mentioned the original script was in February, where he stated that it would be released in some way, either by comic book form or releasing the script itself. The script was read live on August 3rd of 2019, with no one allowed to record and release the live reading. After the live reading concluded, Smith announced that Clerks III would resume production with a new script, which it later would in 2022. So the original script, though, has not been released. This one's interesting to me. I have not yet seen Clerks III. I have seen Clerks II. Clerks I is one of my favorite movies just simply because of how real it feels. Like, it feels like a film that could totally be a real conversation you have with your buddies while at work. But I have a love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith, I think, no one is a bigger fan of Kevin Smith than Kevin Smith. Heck, I'm still waiting for him to finish Batman the Widening Gyre, which he never did because he got real depressed when Zack and Miri Make a Porno didn't make $100 million. While I cannot attest to what the quality of the original Clerks III script would have been, Kevin Smith is not, he doesn't know, his writing isn't as real as it used to be. It doesn't come from a place of reality, so I don't know. I wasn't as big a fan of Clerks 2. I haven't seen Clerks 3. I don't know if I will, but hopefully someday if you're a fan, you get to see the original script. Alright guys, here's the part where I normally have the ad break about, hey, maybe buy a mini, maybe join the Patreon or the channel, and hey, I guess I've just said that, but what I really want to do is I want to share with you guys something that I've been working on that I'm going to start using in the intros of most of my videos. Maybe not this one, as Lesser Known Lost Media has its own intro, but hey, take a look.
Welcome to the show. We hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay. We hope we make you proud.
Alright guys, time for our spicy piece today, and for our spicy piece at number 5, we have Air Cruel Version, Existence Unconfirmed. Air is a Japanese visual novel game created by Key. It has been turned into animes, as well as it has both its original erotic version as well as releases with the erotic elements taken out, where a character is basically making decisions through a story and has the option to romance several characters. Now, the game came out in 2000, but it, alongside one of Key's other early visual novels, Kenon, both were rumored to have what is known as the cruel versions. These were said to be versions that had quite a bit of gore and disturbing imagery. The origins of these cruel versions was left to much speculation. Some thought it was just an urban legend or creepypasta. Some thought it was a patch made by developers who had worked with Key who did not like how they were treated and therefore made this more or less corrupted version. Some even said it was a version made by Key itself, but that they, one way or the other, Key took action to have all the copies destroyed. This would all remain in the realm of urban legend and speculation until January of 2023, when the complete cruel version of Kenon would be found and uploaded to the Internet Archive. This version was confirmed to have been a patched Dojin version of the game Kenon, so that it was not official from Key, and it was made back in 2000 when the game was originally released. Apologies, shortly after release. Kenon was actually released in 1999, though to this day, no real evidence of a cruel version of Air has ever been found, leaving its existence up to speculation. This one intrigued me because I've only ever seen the first episode of the show air. It was actually like one of the first like non-Toonami animes I was ever shown. It wasn't really my thing, but I do remember going, okay, so this is a little different kind of anime, but apparently it does have quite a large fan base. But yeah, just the fact that there was like this weird horror version of what seemed to be a pretty mundane slice of life story was interesting, and the fact that at least one half of the legend has been proven to be true leads me to wonder, well, is the other half? Who knows? Maybe someday we'll find out. And that's the video, guys. Be sure to join us for Volume 56, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers this year. Also, do consider joining the channel as a member, becoming a patron, or even going over and making a one-time PayPal donation, or buying one of my minis or collectibles off of eBay and Mercari. Also, be sure to check the community page, as every week now I will be putting out a poll asking people to vote on what kind of videos they'd like to see next week. So I do 3 videos a week and a new short every day. So until next time, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Chimera Miniatures, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye!
Welcome to the show, we hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, 'cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay, we hope we make you proud.